changes that the MC team have made to our new entity model after our week away in Slovakia at replanning. So first of all, you can see that we have changed the name from LCD model to entity model. Before I go on to show you the changes, I'd like to talk you through 3 different improvements that have been made so that you can understand why we've improved the model. So first of all, EYs, or entities, have matured into different clusters based on their performance last semester. Also, because everyone's reality is different, every entity will receive different levels of support from the MC depending on their current realities. So last semester we saw every LC receiving a coaching visit. This semester the support offered will be at different levels based on entity realities. And finally, we have included SUs and a new cluster into the model to help us effectively manage the progress of every single entity rather than dividing the LCs and SUs into 2 separate models. So, now I'm going to show you the overview of what the entity model looks like. At the top, you can see that we have a national IGIP focus. This is something that we will be driving as a team, not just in the LCD team, but across the whole of MC journey to help AIESEC UK really reach its full potential in IGIP. The legacy statement that we've created as the LCD team is that every entity contributes to the growth of AIESEC UK as a full member. So, based on the focus and our legacy statement, and the 3 points I explained at the start, we have grouped the LCs into new clusters. The first cluster you'll see is our new cluster called Ignite. So in this cluster we have Aberdeen, Anglia Ruskin, Aston, City, Reading and UEA. The goals at the top are goals that refer to the whole cluster. So these are not goals that should be applied to every single entity individually, but rather the goals that the cluster as a whole will be striving to reach. So for OGCP, the goal is 40 to 70 raises, and for IGIP, it's 4 to 8 raises. And together, entities in Ignite will focus on boosting their current OGCP performance, and for the LCs only, IGIP performance will also be focused on increasing this semester. Then we have Grow. So, in Grow we have Durham, Edinburgh, Leeds, Liverpool, LSE and Strathclyde. And together, entities in Grow will focus on improving their OGCP performance as a cluster. So again, the goals at the top explain the cluster goals that every entity will strive to meet together rather than individually. So the goals for Grow are OGCP to get 145 to 174 raises, and matches of 110 to 130. And matches does include the EPs that were raised last semester, so matching those also contributes towards the overall cluster performance. Next we have Innovate. So as we can see here, Innovate is comprised of Cambridge, Nottingham, Oxford, Southampton and Warwick. And entities in Innovate will focus on improving their OGIP performance as a cluster. So the total cluster goal for Innovate will be 40 to 65 matches for OGIP. The reason that it's matches instead of raises is that based on the new OGIP strategy soon to be launched, EPs will pay on match rather than raise. So this is the result that we're really striving to push. And finally, we have Sustain. In Sustain, we have Birmingham, Bristol, Cardiff, Manchester, Newcastle, Sheffield and UCL SOAS. These entities will focus on improving their IGIP performance as a cluster through IGIP and TM synergy. So last semester, Sustain was just focused on IGIP, but this semester we want to come at these entities with a double-pronged approach and really utilise TM as a support function to help IGIP get off the ground in these LCs. The goal for the cluster, Sustain, in IGIP will be 7 to 14 raises by the end of the semester. So the entities have been placed in their cluster based on the programme that they most need to focus on growing in, and the goals have been set for the clusters to really help drive collaboration across the network. Watch the next video to find out more about the new coaching model and find your individual cluster video to understand exactly who you will be supported by and how.